Hello, Hive Mind. I am here with Sparky. How'd you do today, Sparky?
I went 4-0 playing this beautiful deck I have here. I brought you guys some Neoform action.
Tell me about it. Is it stock? You do anything?
So it's relatively stock from what I've seen. There's 6 creatures that you can Neoform, 8 Neoforms between the Neoform and the Eldritch Evolution. The main Wombo combo is Galta with Xenagos. So if you can Neoform the Rider, basically, and then Summoner's Pact or search for a Xenagos, you can 24 them in one turn on turn 2. So that's a good way to do it. There's also a couple extra dudes. We have an Atraxa Grand Unifier to draw cards, Gristlebrand to draw cards. This is your main one if you only have one card you can find. Gristlebrand's normally like your free draw 7. And then you have Ireni, the Song Unending, which is very good against the Esper midrange decks because it's got pro white and pro black. We have a couple interactive spells with Consign to Memory and Veil of Summer. I like the Veil of Summer's main deck specifically in this meta in case people are playing counter spells. And then we have the Pact of Negations. The Summoner's Pact is my search effect along with Planar Genesis. And then we have our land base, which has 4 creatures that are also lands that are green cards. And then the Generous Sense, which are green cards and possibly lands and Preordain in order to round out the deck and give me a little bit of selection. It did very well today. I went 4-0. I played against a Tron deck. I played against an Eldrazi deck. I believe round 1 I played against UCJ playing Boros. And then I played against some other deck that I'm forgetting at the moment. I believe it was Zoo, and it was pretty good. I like this in a meta where you're going to have like a lot of Boros energy and stuff like that. Decks that like really aren't going to be able to interact with your big fatty. And I also like this deck because it doesn't deal with the graveyard. Like, I'm not putting a fatty into the graveyard and trying to Goryo's Vengeance it, where a lot of people can stop you from doing that, especially when you have cards like Flage in the format that are constantly using the graveyard and a lot of those other decks like that. Moving over to the sideboard, this is my anti-hate stuff with the Nature's Claims and the Force of Vigor. I have the anti-blue card stuff with the Disputes, the Great Sable Stags. This is also an anti-hate piece in the Into the Flood Maw, which I've really liked. And then like anti-blue cards with the Veil of Summers. I'm currently running the 3rd Hooting Mandrills in the sideboard right now because I want that for some of the grindier matchups where I need another target for the any kind of my evolutions or like my Pongify effects. And then I decided to split today and not run an additional card. I'm running 1 Elish Norn Grand Cenobite and then 1 Terastodon. These are they're like almost both for the Tron decks. I like the Elish Norn against like the Boros decks and a lot of the like cheap weenie creatures, but I also find that it's also good against like the Eldrazi spawn tokens. So like I brought this in my last match against Corey, but I didn't really bring it out. And then Terastodon for like a lot of the decks that are trying to like ramp and go heavy into the get lands kind of idea.
Was there anything that you felt like overperformed or underperformed today?
The card Neoform. Like just me being able to find and like put a dude into play early was really good. I also think that like one of the sleeper cards in the deck is actually the Disciple of Freyles, because there was a point where I think against somebody I was at a very low life total. I believe it was against the Zoo deck, and like I was able to like use Galta and then like use a Summoner's Pact, find a Disciple, put like an Atraxa and a Disciple into play, do the Atraxa thing, then sack my Galta, gain 12 life, and go back to 7, like get out of range to being burned out. I thought like the Disciple is like a sneaky good card in the deck, especially if you can like drop an Ent or like sacrifice one of your other dudes that's not really that big. I've also done plays where like I'll put a Gristlebrand in, draw the 7, and then sack it to the Disciple and draw 7 more and gain 7 life. So I'm up 14 cards and 0 life lost, which is pretty nice. Beyond that, I really didn't get to bring in the Sable Stags. The Sable Stags have been like an interesting card against like a Murktide type-ish deck because like it stonewalls most of their stuff with the exception of the Oculus. I just didn't really play against any control today, but I played against all the decks I thought I would play against with the exception of the Esper midrange.
Do you have anything you'd want to say to somebody that's interested in buying this deck or on the fence about it?
I do think it's a lot of fun. I don't think this is a ban-worthy deck. I think if people are worried about hating it, Orm's Chance in the format, High Noon, Deafening Silence, like the same cards that are good against Prowess are good against this deck. Ironically, Dispute's also good because it counters the Neoform on 2. And also, like, I feel like I got generally lucky. I know YouTube chat thinks that I'm salty a lot, but I think today I genuinely got lucky, especially on camera and especially in a lot of my matches. I do think you have to relatively get lucky. That's just like how it is for most decks. But if you're looking for something fun, if you want to get games over quick, this is the deck for you.
All right. Sounds like it was a good night for you.
Yep, very good night.
Thank you so much for sharing your deck with us.
Of course. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell. And if you'd like to support us, you could find us at our Bonfire store.
And a huge thank you to our sponsors, Nova Games and Brick, for hosting us for FNM. And please make sure to use our Mana Traders coupon code OCHM at signup for 25% off your third month.
I've been Sparky. Say goodbye, Victor.
Goodbye, Victor.